Hi there, Stephen Oliver here. We were just having a meeting of all my top people, and we were discussing kind of you may have read the book E-Myth many years ago, or maybe more recently, I don't know. But it's a great book. It's a great primer for how to think about really running your own business and being in the business of being in business. And we were talking about a series of conversations that I've had, my associates, Greg Moody, Mindy Godfrey, have had just in the last couple of weeks with different financial advisors. And I was reminded of, in fact, we were talking about some feedback that friend and mentor Dan Kennedy gave me just recently about financial advisors and working with financial advisors. But I was reminded of his quote about being in business. His quote basically is that you have to remember that once you're in business, that you're now and forever in the business of marketing what your service is, not in the business of doing the thing that the business is. And you know, as a financial advisor, think about financial services, the various products that you can put people in one thing or another, the various processes that you can go through of planning and organizing somebody's finances and helping them with that. Well, frankly, the technical components of being a financial planner, and again, I don't mean to offend anybody who has alphabet soup of certifications and lots of credentials and lots of experience, but really the difference is in people who really build up a huge book of business, who are doing a high net personally every year, and those who, by the way, get their life in order, who aren't just running around crazy. That's a different topic we were talking about. Is the horrible time management that goes with it seems like most people in this business. But when you look at putting it together, it's that Dan Kennedy quote of once you realize that you're forever in the business of marketing financial services, financial planning, etc., you're not in the business of doing the technical work. Now, clearly the technical work has to be done, but another, didn't ever meet him. Dan's a friend of mine, but Peter Drucker, as a great business mentor, he said all businesses are in business to create and keep a customer. And really, that's what this is all about. If you want to add, depending upon whether you're focusing on commissions, planning, fee-based, whatever, but if you wanted to add 100 million in assets under management, or you want to grow your income by 300, 400, 500,000 a year net, is where most of that is going to come from. Well, frankly, where all of it's going to come from is really understanding the different components of creating new client relationships and maintaining those client relationships. It's not really going to come from the a level of proficiency that you have behind the scenes of picking stocks and what products to put them in and how to organize their finances. I think of it in perhaps a different way. Is client retention is about rapport, and it's about fulfilling what the promises are. But mostly it's about rapport, and it's building a long-term perspective of how you fit into their picture of their life and so forth. And you've got to, but more importantly, you've got to be constantly and forever in the business of marketing the services that you provide, not so much in the technical role. And there's a proliferation now, and I not too kindly, I stole this, freely admit, from Steve Jobs. There's this bozo explosion of, and that's the word from Steve Jobs, bozo explosion, there's a bozo explosion of consultants, of software packages, of marketing experts. I'll put a quote on that, marketing experts. And, in this industry, it's very, and again, I'll steal something from a friend and mentor, Dan Kennedy, as he calls it marketing incest. But what I think there's an explosion of is there's all kinds of people promising you a false promise. And the false promise is, oh, you don't have to learn about this marketing stuff. We're going to do this for you. It's going to be turnkey. You're going to use our software to do follow-up systems, or we're going to create, traffic from social media, or we're going to do one thing or another, or you're just going to pay us X amount per lead or X amount per month to feed you leads. And what it does is, if you buy into that, not that there aren't services, products, software, CRM systems, etc., that are useful tools, but you've got to be in the position now and always of understanding how to market your business, how to create new client flow, and obviously how to put systems in place that keep those clients long term. So the purpose of your business is to create and keep a client. And going back to Dan's comment about marketing incest, is what he says, and there's another great quote, I think it's from Earl Nightingale. He says that if you were in a business and you didn't know what to do, look around at what everybody else is doing and do the opposite. Dan's line is marketing incest. What most people do when they go into the business of being an RIA or a financial planner is, what they do is they look around at what everybody else is doing and they do the same thing that everybody else is doing. And you're in a business where your primary level of differentiation, once you've got all of your certifications and you've done all that stuff and you have the mastery of the basics, your primary thing is learning how to market your business, and then using other services, using other people as resources once you've really mastered the art of marketing your business. So, but the marketing incest thing is, I've never seen a niche. I've worked with people who work with lawyers, and people who work with dentists, and people who work with chiropractors. I've personally worked with, martial arts schools and a variety of other, everything from lawyers to, people with sports organizations and so forth. But I've never seen a situation where it feels like everyone looks around at what everybody else is doing, and most of the other people aren't doing much, and they do the same thing as everybody else. And then they go, nowadays LinkedIn's, of course, popular. They go to LinkedIn and they look at it seems like they look at everybody else's profile and make them the same as everybody else. They go look at everybody else's websites and make them the same as everybody else. I can't tell you, it makes me, sick to my stomach, is, with our team, we've looked at, I've looked at probably 1,500 advisor profiles in the last few months, and we've probably looked at together 500 or 600 different advisor websites in the last few months. And with rare exceptions, is everybody is really busy being no worse than anybody else, being the same as everybody else, is looking around at what everybody else is doing and replicating what everybody else is doing, and are not in the mindset of forever and for the rest of your business career, you're in the business of marketing your planning, marketing financial services. You're not so much in the business of doing the technical work. That's, having base level proficiency, having high level of proficiency. That's the base point. Is, of course we know there are people who are incompetent who have bad advice, but really the base point for being professional is to have that level of competency and to have that level of integrity. And there's forever and a day there's going to be people who don't. But really it's having that base level of competency and professionalism. But that's not going to get you into the winner's circle. That's not going to get you into the point of really thriving in this business. And without it, it's going to keep your life chaotic. And you're in this process of, where does my next customer, my next client come from? And you're in the business of relying on referrals in many cases without having 4, 5, 6, 7 different referral systems that are driving referrals in, not having external marketing systems, online and offline, that are driving people in, and you're in a situation where you've missed the basic point. Is you've got to be in the business now and forever of marketing, planning financial services, marketing what you're in the business for. And of course, not to make a too fine a point on it, what you're really marketing is the outcome for the client and the emotional feeling they're going to have of being confident that somebody more competent than them, more focused on it than them, more on top of it than them, is going to be handling their finances today and for their future, so that they're comfortable and obviously so that their retirement goes well in one thing or another. But the key takeaway here, and I don't mean for this to be a rant, but you are in the business of marketing your services, not so much in the technical role of doing it. And I mean, we do marketing, coaching, marketing consulting, show you how to put all the pieces together, in many cases put the pieces together, in some cases do it, done for you. But the key element is, which I think is pretty rare, if not pretty much unheard of, is we want to make you different, make you stand out, give you a completely different persona than all of the other folks that are running around in this very crowded business, and teach you how to master your business so that you're not reliant on, the bozo explosion of vendors, the bozo explosion of people who are claiming that they'll feed you qualified, leads. But you're in control of your practice, you're in control of your client flow, you're in control of your income, so that you can have peace of mind, you can sleep well, you get out of being crazy and running crazy all the time, and can really have those pieces put together. But I want you to anchor in, 3 or 4 things I said that are, critical. Look around and be different. Don't look around and be the same. Number 2, really figure out that you need to anchor in that you're now and forever in the business of marketing the services that you provide, not in the business of just understanding the technical things and sitting down with people and doing the planning process. That part, and frankly, as you build up a practice, that's the stuff that can be hired out, and that's the stuff that can be delegated. What the hard part is really understanding how to feed the business in consistently, and how to put systems in to consistently and regularly maintain the quality of the client experience, and to maintain that relationship long term with you. So it's that educational process of putting those pieces together and doing that. But again, what I'd love to do is for us to chat and teach you a little bit more about that stuff. You can go to advisorwealthmastery.com. That's our website, and get a bunch of free stuff. And we're happy to set an appointment, or perhaps you're already working with me, which is fantastic. But what I want to end with is this: like I said, me and my team, although we have extensive experience with financial advisors and people in this business, is we come from an outside perspective. I mean, both having worked with, in some cases, personally and intimately, with some of the top marketing people in the world, but having been there, done that, ourselves, all the way back to when I started my business back in 1983. I grew 6 retail locations, 5 in 18 months, 6 in 30 months, and grew to over 2,500 clients in 3 years. In fact, that was back when I was 23 to 25, 26 years old, and have replicated that for both myself and for clients ever since in multiple different businesses. But when you come from the outside, what you recognize is, 1, everybody's busy being the same. Number 2 is the level of thinking and really understanding how to effectively create and keep a customer, how to effectively market without sitting and hoping or having a few little pieces put together for, say, referrals. It's just stark. It's incredible how pathetic in most cases. Big organizations have pretty pathetic training. All of the other consultants and coaches that I've seen, the thing to run away from, it feels to me, is they have CFP or something behind their name. I mean, I've got MBA behind my name, which, by the way, PhD stands for piled higher and deeper. That's Greg. And MBA stands for more bad answers. But, the alphabet soup isn't the solution. The solution is for you to really learn how to market your business and get forever focused on that and learn the details and learn the principles that work on that. I might leave with something else. I was having a lunch meeting with a client yesterday, and I was bringing up 3 or 4 different opportunities of things that he was already doing. They were already on the calendar, and I said, well, we should find a way to utilize this and convert these, and how do we dig a little deeper into this? And he said, oh my God, well, that's why you're a marketing genius, is you think of all these things. I said, well, no, really, it's training yourself that you're now and forever in the business of marketing what you do. And you've got to start thinking about everything that's on your calendar, every place you go, everything that you see. What's the opportunity there? There's an organization. Is there something I can do? I just brought in the chief marketing officer for this tech company, or I just did something with this organization. What else could be done? How else could I expand? What resources do they bring to bear that I could tap into and expand with? I mean, there's all different ways of always looking at what are the opportunities, what is it that I could do to utilize these resources more aggressively and to build my practice from there. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. I went way over the time I expected. But that gives you some thoughts of, once you're in business now, in the financial planning, you're a financial advisor, what you've got to do is really look at the ways that you are different from everybody else. And there's a lot of ways to do that. And basically look around at what everybody else is doing and be different. And what I want to talk about later is, I've never seen, I don't understand, frankly, why advisors think that everybody has to live in their neighborhood or live in their city. I work with people all over the world, and I know advisors that, are drawing people from all over U.S. and Canada, or all over the world, depending upon what their background, licenses, and so forth are. But there's no reason in the world that you have to meet face-to-face with everybody. Zoom is a technology, and there's others, but, is a technology that even makes it better. But I have friends who do everything from, sell shares of apartment complexes by distance, to doing coaching, doing financial planning, doing all kinds of wealth management from a distance. And that's another thing that we'll work on, is how to expand your thinking and not to be so provincial in the way you look at things. But we'll call it there. Thank you again, Stephen Oliver. If you haven't been there already, go to financial advisor wealthmastery.com. Let me get that right, and get a free packet of information from us and some other thoughts that might help you.